Today, we'll be going over some animals that got the weird end of the stick as far as evolution is concerned. We'll start with the strangest animals and end with the ones that evolved in ways that are downright absurd. And trust me, the last one is on a whole different level. Seahorses. Turns out males getting pregnant is something you can see even outside of anime fan art. Because nature's little oddballs, the seahorses, are one species that make this possible. These fishy fathers carry their young inside brood pouches, oozing nutrients like energy-rich fats through their pouch tissue. But why would Mother Nature decide that daddy seahorses need to be yassified? Well, as it turns out, these little things evolved this way for a reason. It was to allow the females to be free from the shackles of baby carrying. So instead, they can focus solely on churning out eggs like a factory on overtime. With both mommy and daddy working 24/7 to pump out babies, it's no wonder the seahorse population isn't dying down anytime soon. But we're just getting started because this next animal is just as weird as it is terrifying to look at. Eey Eyes. These are the world's largest nocturnal primates and hands down the most bizarre lemurs you'll ever lay your eyes on. Seriously, a quick glance at these things will probably keep you up at night because damn, that's one ugly mug it's got there. These little goblins are native to Madagascar and really highlight how sometimes evolution just decides to hit the mess my shit up button when it comes to designing some creatures. Eey Eyes look like if you found a drunken celebrity trying to avoid the paparazzi at 4 a.m., complete with straggly hair, bulging eyes, and a face that's definitely been around some drugs. Now, the most terrifying thing about these animals has got to be their absurdly long fingers. This is straight up the stuff of nightmares. I mean, just look at it. Eey Eyes have one absurdly large middle finger, which they probably showed to Mother Nature for cursing them to look like something out of a Tim Burton movie. The horror movie fingers do actually have some evolutionary purposes though. They're ideal for fishing out grubs and insects from trees. And yes, for picking their noses. Which just happens to be a habit they share with most viewers of this channel. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Sadly, these things aren't exactly doing so well in terms of population. There was a time when they were considered to be extinct, but turns out that was just a false flag. Though even now they're marked as endangered, probably because even seeing one is said to bring bad luck. Hey, if I look like that, I consider my luck to be pretty bad too. That said, once you hear about this next animal, you're going to understand just what real horror looks like. Velvet ants. Sometimes evolution has a bad day at the job and decides to screw over every other species in existence. That's kind of what happened the day velvet ants were made. These things are like the scariest thing you'll ever come across in the wild. Imagine this, an ant with wings that has poison, and not just any poison. One strong enough to subdue a cow. That's pretty much something straight out of a Dark Souls game. These critters haunt the hotter parts of the Western Hemisphere, so if you're anywhere near there, be warned. Now, from the outside, velvet ants might not look so dangerous. They've got cute little furry bodies. You might even come close and decide to pick one up. After all, who doesn't have a death wish these days? Just know that if you do, you'll get stung with a poison that can down 13 average-sized humans. So, if you just happen to be smaller than that, well, good luck. But wait, there's more. Velvet ants start their reign of terror early. When laying eggs, the females invade nests of other ground-dwelling insects. Once the eggs hatch, the newborn velvet ants feast on the host larvae, turning someone else's nursery into their personal buffet. So why exactly did evolution decide to bundle up all these red flags into a single creature and give it wings? Well, I'm going to have to take that one up with Darwin. And while you're up there, be sure to ask him about this next totally strange animal too. Gastric brooding frog. Now, the first time you look at this frog, you might not see anything too out of the ordinary. But here's the thing. This little guy is one of the only animals in the world that evolved to give birth through its mouth. Yeah, yikes. I mean, the normal way of giving birth is bad enough, but imagine basically vomiting your kids out. Not exactly the best way to be brought into the world, that's for sure. Evolution decided it was going to practice all of its weirdest kinks with this one because after the eggs are externally fertilized by a male, the female swallows them. Yup, she straight up mouths down her own offspring. Once inside her stomach, the eggs hatch into tadpoles. These little critters grow and develop right there, bypassing the need for a nursery pond. When they finally mature into full-sized frogs, Mama Frog does what any good parent would. She puked them up over the span of a week. Luckily, or unluckily, depending on how freaky you are, these frogs were extinct in the 1980s. But since scientists apparently didn't learn a thing from the Jurassic Park movies, they're trying to bring them back using cloning. Because why bring back something cool like woolly mammoths when you can bring back a frog that pukes its own kids out? Now, if you're still not grossed out enough by evolution being weird AF, don't worry, there are a couple of other options that are sure to make you cringe. Blobfish. Ever wanted to see an animal that looks like it just got spilled by nature? Well, then you'd get this bizarre thing. Blobfishes have the honor of being awarded the world's ugliest animal, and something tells me it's not going to lose that title anytime soon. It's a creature that looks like a gelatinous mass of sadness floating above the ocean floor at depths of 600 to 1,200 meters. You could tell these guys have had it tough. Like working 10 hours a day while going through a bitter breakup tough. It's over, Steve. Please, we can work through this. Let's just talk about it. There's another goldfish. Now, to the credit of these weird specimens, they're not supposed to look that bad. You see, these things have bones, but thanks to the intense pressure under the sea, their bones are as soft and malleable as overcooked pasta. If you take a look at them in their natural habitat, they look, better. But when you pluck these poor things out of there and bring them to the pressure we live in, well, no wonder they look sad. They miss home. They evolved to withstand the heavy pressures of life under the deep blue sea, so it makes sense why their body doesn't react well outside of it. For comparison, if a human was taken that far below the depths, we wouldn't have a great time either. That said, with no substantial muscle to speak of, these aquatic blobs don't chase their prey. No, they just lie in wait, letting crustaceans and other unlucky edible materials swim into their perpetually downturned mouths. I mean, if you just walk into a predator's mouth, at that point, you deserve to get eaten. Oh, and speaking of getting eaten, this next carnivorous animal is sure to send a chill down your spine. Shoebill. Dinosaurs are long gone, but if you ever wanted to see what they evolved into, look no further than the shoebill. At first glance, this bird might not seem all that strange, but brace yourself. It's a 4-foot-tall carnivore that's known to eat turtles, fish, and young crocodiles. Yes, this bird can mess shit up. It evolved to be able to hold its own against other predators in its surroundings. So nature decided, hey, you know what? You can keep some of those dinosaur-like features your great-grandparents used to have. So it's got long, thin legs and a disproportionately large head and bill. Oh, and it doesn't just eat its prey. It decapitates it first. That's right. It takes the time to remove the head before dining just to make sure its meal doesn't get any funny ideas about escaping. And if you thought their eating habits were chilling, wait till you hear about their parenting style. Shoebills are the ultimate practitioners of tough love. They focus all their attention on the eldest offspring, giving the younger hatchling the cold shoulder. In many cases, the elder chick takes it upon itself to eliminate the competition through siblicide. The younger one? It's basically a backup plan in case the golden child doesn't make it. This brutal method is theorized to be a form of energy conservation, but it just comes off as plain evil. And look at that nightmarish grin. Do you really need any more evidence this bird is planning to take over the world? Forget the Emu Wars of Australia. If we ever have the Shoebill Wars, we're cooked. Finally, there's one other creature that's evolved in a way that'll make you question Mother Nature. Immortal Jelly. Nothing beats an eldritch monstrosity, and the Immortal Jelly is about as close to it as we can get. The immortal part isn't just for fun either. This thing can really live forever. You see, when injured or faced with starvation, this jellyfish doesn't just roll over and die. No, it hits the reset button. With that, the adult jellyfish reverts back to its rebellious teenager phase, basically getting another shot at life. Man, that'd be real useful for me right about now. This fresh-faced creation then continues the life cycle, spawning a bunch of genetically identical jellyfish. Can you imagine what it's like to basically never be able to die? Like you're just tired of living and want out, but every time you get close to death, your body just reverts you back to when you were a kid. Sounds rough, but then again, with how people want to seemingly live forever nowadays, that might just be what a lot of people are looking for. You can be sure there's some scientists in a kooky lab working on trying to replicate this right as we speak. And spoiler, it's not going to end well for anyone. But anyway, from male seahorses getting pregnant to immortal jellyfish that can't die, these are some of the strangest ways evolution has shaped the animal kingdom. Let me know what you guys think, and be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more strangely evolving videos.